right, we are now on to the next session. Hope you all had a small, nice break, went to get that extra cup of coffee and whatnot. So welcome back. And we have a great next guest when we start looking more at the technology when it comes to the hospitality sector. Technology has been really in the forefront of a lot of discussions. And I think it's worthwhile using this downturn time to think about and re-strategize and seeing what the future has in store for us. So I'm very excited to welcome Johannes from Robotize to the New Baltic Hospitality Forum. So welcome, Johannes, and over to you to talk about robots.
Thanks, Hilary, for the introduction. I will share my screen. So, hi, everyone. Exactly now I get the call and it's on my Mac. Sorry for that. Okay. So, hi, everyone. This is Johannes from Robotize. I'm streaming here from Munich. Glad to be here. Thanks for the invitation, Hilary. So I'm going to be talking about robot morality. And so we are building service robots. We are a company here in Munich. We are the creators of Jeeves. Jeeves is the robot that you can see on the two little images on the side. And Jeeves is a professional robot, but I'll get into that a little later. And to get your attention, here's something provocative. So in 20 years' time, in my theory, there will be more professional robots coming off production lines than cars. Okay, so more robots than cars, and there's tens of millions of cars produced every year. And service robots, well, we are just starting out, right? So not all of these robots will be as professional, as advanced as this one. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive, right? That's Boston Dynamics. They kind of push what's possible with technology. So most of the professional robots, they won't be so super advanced, like from a technology point of view, but they will still enter our daily lives in hotels, in hospitals, offices, airports, and so on. And so obviously on one side, this is great. It's a huge opportunity for growth. It means more wealth for the entire population in general, because before we needed people to do all these tasks in hotels, hospitals, and so on, and we only have a limited amount of people, right? There's only 7 billion people to do all these jobs in the world, and now we get millions and billions of robots out there to help us, which is great, right? Well, so some people are hesitant. And they point out to me, they say, hey, Johannes, half of the jobs are probably going to be automated in 15 to 20 years. And there are studies that actually show that a lot of jobs will be automated. And so obviously, this is making some people uncomfortable. And because until now, humans, whenever there was technological progress, humans could adapt with the speed of that progress fairly well. So old jobs got automated away and new jobs were created at the same time. Well, obviously that happened because else we'd all still be farmers. But this happened at a pace so that people still could do their one job their entire lives. Okay, so one job their entire lives. And you probably know somebody who did work the same job their entire lives. Who knows somebody? Raise your hand. Like I can't see you, but just to get it a little mixed up. So even maybe even you are somebody who worked the same job the entire life. So what we don't know is what will happen when the speed of progress is accelerating. So meaning that there's tech at an ever increasing speed and everything is mixing up. up and about in a few years' time, like very sooner? Will people still be able to adapt, or will there be kind of like a mass unemployment scenario, like some people, some critics of progress may say? And I believe it's up to us. Like, it's a choice, it's an active decision that we have to take. We shape our own future. So what do we decide? In which direction do we go? So if you ask me, I believe humans are incredibly adaptable, and we always find a new way and always adopt to the increasing speed of progress. It's just another challenge that we get to solve. So, well, you would say nicely said in theory, but how do we actually do it? How do we get on with it? So there's three things I believe that are important. And the first thing is continuous learning. So learning is is already very important and will be even more important in the future. And because many people, they will change their job, their profession in their lifetime. It's not like it was before. It's gonna change. People will change their profession, their focus of their career, and people talk about it like it's a bad thing. I'm telling you, it's a good thing. It just needs a change of mindset, because you create more value when you export your expertise from one area of your profession to another. It's just needs a mind shift. And like, ask me, I studied architecture, and now I'm building robots. So second point, which is also important, is new jobs will be created, and at a pace that we don't even know today. So we will work with this technology. It will be tools. It will enable us to do different things, new things in the future that we can't even think of now. And third most important thing is that we will work close with that technology. So the so-called human-robot interaction. And like I said, it's going to be like tools for us. So in the end, I truly believe, as long as man and woman, as we can think, as long as we can use our brains, we will always find something that we can do better, improve, be entrepreneurial about it, create more jobs. So this is what has happened in the last thousands of years. So I believe this will continue. There's no reason to believe that this may suddenly change. So who am I to talk about these things so confidently? So I said in the beginning, we build professional robots. We build Jeeves. Jeeves is a professional robot. When you look at the categories, like, there's all kinds of robots. Don't worry, there won't be a test. You don't have to memorize this slide. So Jeeves is a wheeled robot, and it's a modular robot. And it's focusing on the economics. So the difficult part about robotics is to make the economies work. And I believe we did a great job with Jeeves. So where do we use it? Like, where does Jeeves actually gets to do some work? Mainly two areas. One is hospitality, the other one is health. Hospitals, care homes, and so on, and on the other side, hospitality, like hotels and so on. I'm going to be focusing on hotels, obviously. So this is what I assume you guys are most interested in. And I'll show you briefly what Jeeves does in a hotel in this video. So summing up, Jeeves is a minibar service, automates a minibar service. It has a stock of items that he always carries with him. and people, like the guests, call chiefs to their rooms if they want something, snack or drink. Chiefs has a delivery drawer, so you can put room service in it, or a toothbrush or something you may want to deliver to your guest room. The robot collects feedback, and lobby infotainment is a feature we're rolling out in 2021. I'll glad to explain you more in a conversation later on. So if you just think about what's possible, like what does that mean for the future of a hotel? Just thinking about the minibar case, right? So instead of taking care of hundreds of little fridges and sending your staff on delivery runs to the rooms, a robot does it suddenly. And I mean, okay, well, you got people working for that right now, and then that means, like, when you deploy a robot, you don't need any staff any further, like the hotel will be fully automated. Yes or no? What do you think? Shout it in your microphone, but please mute before. Well,
Yes.
obviously no. Everything will be automated. I say hell no, obviously not, because these mini bars are mostly refilled by trainees, you know, young people straight out of school. And I mean, does a trainee need to learn how to restock a fridge? No, I mean, they can barely restock their own fridge. Maybe it would be good. But no, we don't have to make them learn them just because we learned how to do it. So that makes more opportunity, more room to learn something else, to be more creative, to learn being full of empathy, because this is what humans can do best. So they will learn how to do different things, different tasks that create more value than restocking the fridges, for example. So this is the chance, the opportunity for robots in the hospitality industry. And get in touch if you have any questions, if you'd like to speak with me about robots for your hotel project. I think it's pretty cool, and it's definitely a highlight for the guests. So thanks, Hilary, for the opportunity. I think I'm good in time, and I'm not sure if you do Q&A or questions or anything else, just get in touch with me. Here's my email address, so reach out. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Johannes. I actually have a bunch of questions for you. So actually, would you mind stopping the screen share so then we can just be nicely on the
yes, sure.
on the screen? There we go. So tell me, are there any sort of hotel brands, for example, that you're working with already that you can share, or who's shown sort of more interest, or how have you seen the industry embrace such a technology coming to market?
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, at first it needs a lot of convincing, I would say, in the first couple of years. So we started already 4 years ago. Right now, we have closed among of the largest hotel chains of Europe. So they always start with one pilot, obviously. So we're finishing up these pilots right now, and we are going to be rolling out Chiefs in these hotel chains. So there's a lot of press coverage. I don't want to name any brands right now. You can read it all in the press. So like they're among the biggest, largest in Europe. But not just the big hotel chains are interested. Also the private hotels, the private hoteliers, because obviously they have a much bigger pain when it comes to labor, to find actually people to offer services. It's also for them. They can offer service they could never offer before. And obviously for the large hotel chains, it's interesting because they can digitalize very manual services that was minibar and room service. So, you know, in the age of digitalization, of online booking, of booking.com, everybody's going digital. You know, you get so much competition from these big brands, and they do such a good job of serving their customers in the digital world. And I mean, the hotel industry, the operators themselves, they need the tools, the digital tools to keep up, or maybe even do a better job. So, for example, to integrate Chiefs in their loyalty program, to integrate Chiefs in their, to push their direct bookings, you know, to get Chiefs, for example, to get the hotel guests to download the app to order Chiefs, so they can, you know, create a larger base of members of the direct channel. So like we need to use all these digital opportunities that we have to keep up and to even be better against all these online giants. Yes.
And tell me, have you seen more interest for the product, especially given everything that's going on in the industry right now, and obviously certain brands and developers looking further into the future and thinking what is it that the next hotel product and service should look like? Have you seen an increase in interest in what you're doing as well?
Oh, definitely. So like we have a lot of interest from new brands, especially because they want to do things differently. And it's a good opportunity also for young people, to show, hey, we are modern. We have a new brand. We have a robot on the one side, but on the other side, it's also an opportunity for existing hotel brands to reinvent themselves, right? To bring something new, to increase their operational efficiency. To change the services, to make them more digital, and yeah, in the end, it's wide interest. I'd say mainly from chains, like in that sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it makes sense if you have that kind of thing in mass. Because if you have a guest comes to one of your hotel, and then he probably expects it in the other hotel too.
And who are sort of the other players in the market who are kind of looking into the future? I mean, obviously we hear a lot coming from Japan and Asia in terms of robotics and the hotel product. Some of the other things to kind of keep an eye on from your sort of industry perspective.
Yeah, definitely. So there's there's American, 1-2 American players. I don't think they are over in Europe yet, but I'm sure they will. And there's Asian robots. So what I have seen, what I've realized, when you compare their robots to ours, it's different. So and the reason why I believe behind it is because we have a different a different industry, different expectations from the guests here than over there. So, for example, when we bring chiefs over to Asia, we might have to make a little differences. Like we might have to put like a face on it, like a smiley, to make it more human in a sense, because that's the culture there. That's what they like. But on the other side, when you bring this over to Europe, the guests will be like, because it's mostly Europeans, they will not get it. Like they will think, they would expect the different kinds of robots. So I believe you need a specific kind of product for the market, for the culture, to make the people accept it.
And tell me, in terms of the process of making it to a point now where it's serviceable and you can actually go to market with it, how long has the process been?
Oh, it's been long and painful. I can say that. So building robots isn't easy, especially building really good ones, because so I mean, the elevator integration is hard, the navigation is hard, to make it safe is hard. So this took us now the better part of like three years. Now we're in the 4th year. We are rolling out now. So we solved all these issues. We have the most secure robot base. Like, it has a lot of safety sensors in it. It's certified. It's according to most or all relevant European norms. So that's an achievement. And we have partnerships with large elevator companies, the largest actually. And this also took time, but they're pushy. They see also an opportunity, and also obviously the navigation part, to make it drive on its own in the hotel, on the hallways, in the elevator. I mean, you can do it in a prototype very easily, very quickly even. I see a lot of Asian competitors that have a lot of good prototypes, but then you needed to bring it into production, and then it needs to work like almost 100% of the time, because you don't want to have the system down and somebody from the hotel to have to come and fix it all the time. Yeah. Because then it wouldn't actually be safer. It would mean a lot of work. Yeah. But this will only be apparent later on. So we tried and did a lot of work into it to make the system reliable. And so far, we still have all our customers that we have from the day one. So I believe we made them very happy.
And Johannes, how big is your team? How many of you working on this product?
Oh, so we are 40 people now.
Okay.
About 40,
wow.
Yeah.
Great. Well, look, it's been fascinating to hear about one specific product that has taken quite some time to develop to the stage that it is now, and very excited to see when you launch and how it's actually going to work and hear the actual customer feedback on it. So I'm sure
it is launched. We are already in many hotels in Germany.
Okay.
So we're rolling out. It's working. So this is.
But right now only in Germany, right? So not nowhere right now in the Nordic Baltic side.
Not yet. 2021. Yeah.
Okay, well,
but that's reserved now because we have a big pipeline. So next year's deployment, that's going to be tough.
Well, great. So we look forward to 2021, where it's closer to our region, so we can see the customer feedback there. And you have your details up on the last slide, but we also make sure we put it under the session. So anyone who was interested, there's been some comments I see from the chat as well. People getting very excited about such a product. So if anyone wants to get in touch, they can do that direct. So thank you again so much, Johannes, for joining us today.
Thanks, Hilary. Thanks for the invitation. Have a good day. Have a lot of fun with the following presentations.
Great. And we'll be back with the next session in about 9 minutes. It will be again in the new window. So make sure you log out of this one, and we'll talk more about digitization in the hotel space. So join us then. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're off. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Hilary.